Hi everybody, Mr. Coupland here with Storytime today. Today we're reading the Greek myth about Echo and Narcissus. Have you ever wondered where Echo, Echo, Echo comes from? Well, let's find out. Echo was a mountain nymph and a terrible chatterbox. All day and almost all night, streams of words would pour from her lips, and it wasn't as if she ever had anything sensible to say. Most of the time, it was nonsense. I'm sure we know some people like that. But her constant babble could be very irritating. One summer's afternoon, Echo was chattering away to herself when she wandered through the mountains where she lived. Oh, isn't it a lovely day? Oh, just look at the sunlight on the trees. Doesn't it make you smile? She barbled. All of a sudden, the goddess Hera appeared, bustling down the mountain path in a tremendous hurry. Now, Hera is the god of Zeus, the wife of Zeus, who is the king of the gods in Greek mythology. She stopped when she saw Echo. Have you seen my husband? She demanded. Oh, hello, Hera. Isn't it a lovely day? I was just saying how lovely it is, Echo began. Never mind all that, Hera interrupted crossly. Have you seen my husband? Zeus? Why, of course, I've met him once or twice, Echo babbled. He's a very handsome god, I always thought. I don't know of any two gods who suit each other. Have you seen him today? Shouted Hera, turning red in the face with frustration. It would be pleasant to see him today, just as any other, Echo replied brightly. I think it would be pleasant to see just about any... Hera couldn't take it anymore. She grabbed Echo by the scruff of the neck. Stop talking such nonsense, she said. From now on, you won't be able to prattle on like this any longer. In fact, you won't be able to say anything at all, apart from the last thing someone has said to you. Is that absolutely clear? Absolutely clear, said Echo as timidly as a mouse. Hera let her go and went on her way. Echo spent the rest of the day alone in silence, unable to speak a word. But the next morning, she tried to speak and still couldn't say anything. Hera meant every word. Only when a little bird landed on a nearby branch and tweeted something could she speak. She repeated miserably. Later that day, she wandered silently along a rocky path. She saw a very handsome man. He was so handsome, she stopped in her tracks and smiled at him. It was love at first sight. Unfortunately for Echo, the young man was so handsome that he was used to people falling in love with him, and it had done his character no good whatsoever. What do you want? He asked rudely. You want, was all Echo could say. Want me, do you? Everybody wants me. I'm Narcissus, scoffed the vain young man. What makes you think I could love you? I could love you, Echo repeated hopefully. Well, I could never love you, snapped Narcissus. Love you, was Echo's sad reply. Don't forget she's repeating the last things people have said. Poor Echo was so in love with Narcissus that she couldn't leave him. She trailed after him, unable to say anything other than repeat what he had said. Narcissus grew very tired of her, and because he wasn't the kindest of young men, told her in the most certain terms. Eventually, unable to get rid of her, Narcissus simply took to ignoring her. He was thirsty from all the walking he had done, so when he came to a clear mountain pool, He crouched down to drink from the still water. As he drank, the sun came up from behind a cloud and shone on the pool, showing Narcissus his own reflection. He'd never seen it before. And now, as he bent to drink, it looked as if his lips were meeting those of another person. He sat back in surprise. Did I just kiss me? There he is. Yeah, very, very vain. That's what we call someone who likes themselves a lot, vain. Looking every bit as surprised as he was, the face in the water said the same words. I think you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Echo stood behind and said, You're beautiful. But Narcissus only had eyes for his face in the pool. He smiled, and as the face smiled back at him, the young man felt fire rising in his chest that he had never felt before, because he had fallen in love with his own reflection. He bent forward in a rush to see the face again, but he hit the water and the image disappeared. No! Narcissus cried out. Won't you please come back? Be mine, he said. Be mine, Echo said mournfully. The water fell still and the reflection appeared again. Narcissus stared at the sad face before him. Tears welled up. It was then that Narcissus realised who the face was. It's me, he said. I'm in love with myself. Narcissus. I'm in love with Narcissus, repeated Echo's voice. Oops. Despite realising his mistake, Narcissus still couldn't drag himself away from his own reflection. He remained there, staring at the pool longingly until night fell. When the moon came out, he rejoiced in the reflection's dim reappearance, and when the sun finally rose, he smiled in relief at himself. Day after day, he lay there beside the pool. The rest of the world seemed to entirely have forgotten about him. Echo couldn't bear to leave either. She watched with despair as the young man she loved grew pale and thin. Gradually, the bloom faded from Echo's own cheeks, and her face paled until she could barely be seen in the harsh sunlight. In fact, soon her body began to fade. Gradually, she pined away from her love until she was nothing but a sound on the breeze, repeating its every sigh. Not that Narcissus noticed. He was completely absorbed in himself. He watched his own cheeks grow paler and thinner, and his eyes burn ever more feverishly with love. Eventually, Narcissus dwindled away to nothing at all, and in his place, by the side of the pool, a yellow flower grew, which has been known to this day by his name ever since. The narcissus flower, or daffodil, can often be found growing beside pools of water, admiring its own reflection. As for Echo, her voice remained, blown to the wind to different parts of the world. Being a mountain nymph, she prefers to haunt mountainous or rocky places. Now, if you go to places such as those and shout, Echo! You will hear her repeating your words back to you. Echo, echo, echo. Wow, I really like that story, guys. I hope you did as well. I think it's got a moral to that tale, and I don't know about you, but I think some of the morals might be it's good not to be too vain and maybe to listen to other people. And a good fact is the daffodil's actual name is also the narcissus flower, which links all these stories together. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in today. See you soon.